Hello, my name is Leroy Blevins. Welcome to Mysteries and Histories. In this episode here, what I want to do is I want to talk about, is there evidence to prove that Oswald is innocent or if he's a patsy? Well, as you go to conferences and everything else like that, you'll hear them talk about, they'll bring out the car can rifle, and even when they do their documentaries and stuff, they bring out that car can rifle and say, hey, there's no way that with this piece of junk rifle, that Oswald cannot take all three shots within 6 seconds. But then they're going to go ahead and tell us that, hey, there was a second gunman there behind a picket fence that took the fatal headshot. But as again, when you work into something like that, and you're looking at something like that, you're going to say, okay, well, Oswald's innocent. He's a patsy, but he can't take three shots in 6 seconds, and they're going to use this car counter rifle as a demonstration model and stuff like that. But does that really prove that he's innocent, that he is a patsy? Because here's questions that came to my mind when I was going over this part of the case here in the JFK assassination. Okay, they're going to use, like I said, the three shots: the magic bullet shot, the curb shot, and the fatal headshot JFK. So we're just going to talk about that. Okay, they're going to say that there's no possible way in the world, even by experts and everything else, is trying this car cannon rifle, taking these three shots from the sixth floor Texas School Book Depository, or they'll use demonstration models, where they'll go up to a certain height and then have a moving object on there, taking this magic bullet shot, the fatal headshot JFK, and this curb shot, as you see right here. There's no possible way it could be done in 3 seconds. But then I'm sitting there saying, okay, well, does anybody ask the questions like, okay, we're going to look at this. We have three shots, supposedly, Oswald takes. And he took one shot here, which is the magic bullet shot. Then he took the curb shot, then the fatal headshot. And they said he only has 6 seconds to do this in. But they're telling us that there was an assassin behind the picket fence area on the grassy knoll that took the fatal headshot to JFK. So if this so-called assassin took this fatal headshot to JFK, which we're going to show you right here on this map here, then that means there was only 2 shots taken from Texas School Book Depository, not the 3. Because they're saying that the fatal headshot came from behind the picket fence area, and it struck JFK in the right side of the head and pushed him back and then to the left. So we're going to eliminate now one of the shots. So is it possible that Oswald took 2 shots that day, the magic bullet shot and the curb shot? No one's never asked this question, but I come up with these questions when I do my research because I have to see if it can be done or if it can't be done. So I'm sitting there saying, well, they're sitting there telling me that with the car cannon rifle, Oswald cannot squeeze off 3 shots within 6 seconds. This is what they're telling me, and they're going to show this car cannon rifle, and they're going to move it around, so it's a piece of junk and all this stuff. But then they're going to tell me that the fatal headshot came from behind the picket fence area. So if we eliminate that, wouldn't that make Oswald still being able to take 2 shots within that 6 seconds? The magic bullet shot and the curb shot? No one asked that question. I have to come up with these questions. I come up with questions even in my own research to see if there's an answer. Okay, because no other researcher. Now, just imagine you go to a conference and they're sitting there coming off with this information saying, hey, this car cannon, you can't take 3 shots, within 6 seconds and stuff, So this is why Oswald's innocent. But there was a gunman behind a picket fence area that took the fatal headshot to JFK. But hey, wait a minute. If there was a gunman behind a picket fence area, took the fatal headshot to JFK, that still leaves 2 shots. Couldn't Oswald take them 2 shots within 6 seconds? Can you demonstrate to me that a person cannot take them 2 shots, the curb shot and magic bullet shot within them 2 shots, within that 6 seconds? Because remember, the magic bullet happened first. Then the curb shot. But they're claiming that it was the magic bullet, curb shot, and then the fatal headshot. So if it was a curb shot, which was a missed shot, then it didn't take no time to aim a rifle. So he would take aim, boom, boom, which he's taken 2 shots now. Because in my evidence, as I point out in the show, Oswald did, in fact, take 2 shots that day, but we're going to use it in this part here of their theories. But then, like I said, we're eliminating the fatal headshot, which came from behind the picket fence, what they're telling us. So is it possible that Oswald can still take 2 shots? But now let's eliminate this. Let's eliminate the magic bullet, because they said it can never happen. Well, let's say if the magic bullet didn't happen, and that was a frontal shot as well. So we have the gunman behind the picket fence area taking 2 shots, and Oswald taking 1 shot to the curb. So see, can Oswald still take 1 shot within that 6 seconds? You see what I'm saying? They want to say Oswald's innocent. They were trying to prove Oswald's innocent by bringing out a car cannon rifle and say he's got 6 seconds to take these shots, and there's no possible way he could take these 3 shots within 6 seconds with this type of rifle and all this other stuff. But they're not proving to say, well, is there a possibility that he could take 2 shots? Is there a possibility he could take 1 shot? Because if he took even 1 shot that day, he still wouldn't be innocent. He'd still be one of the assassins. Am I correct on that part? Yes, I am. So see, they're not going into detail on this. They're just going to sit there and say, there's no way Oswald could take 3 shots with this kind of rifle. Oswald is a patsy, so we're just going to eliminate him. And we're just going to concentrate on a guy behind a picket fence area. I'll throw a gunman in the Dow Tech's building. You know, this is what they're going to tell us. They're just pushing everything to the side. But no one's going to sit there and say, is it possible if there was a gunman behind a picket fence area to take fatal headshot JFK? Is it possible that Oswald took them 2 shots? The magic bullet shot and the curb shot. And if Oswald didn't take that, is it still possible that in that 6 seconds he could take 1 shot to the curb shot, which would be the missed shot? Is there any possible way? Because maybe sitting there proving that Oswald is not a good marksmanship. You know, his aim was always off and stuff. So he might have took that curb shot, but still he took his shot. So see, they're not going to tell us anything about any of that kind of information because they want to try to prove Oswald's innocent. But there's a possibility that Oswald still could have took 2 shots that day, or Oswald could have even took 1 shot that day with a car cannon rifle. They don't want to point this out. They don't want to point these facts out because if they did, like I said, it's going to blow their case away. Now, we know Oswald had a car cannon rifle right here because it was ordered by A. Heidel. We know Oswald used a fake ID. Oops. Closed out there. Shouldn't have done that. Again, another behind the scenes. We know Oswald had this car cannon rifle. We know he bought the revolver with A. Heidel. We know his IDs right here. He had a fake ID with his image on it. It says A. Heidel on it. Okay, so we're not gonna sit there and pull that in. We're just gonna worry about is can we prove Oswald's innocent? Just like his backyard image right here. This image here was taken at this place right here, which I'll zoom in. I'll raise this up. Here's the address where the backyard image was taken. When he, if you look at this, you're going to see that the sniper's nest is right here, and where they found a car cannon rifle was over here, which is all on the 6th floor. And here's where the steps are right over here, and this is where the sniper's nest is. Okay, they're not going to point all that information out as well. But I want to show this kind of information and give this kind of type of information because I think we need to look at it this way. Everybody knows I've done a time frame when it came to the shots. So we're going to look at the shots that they call the magic bullet shot, the fatal headshot, and the shot to the curb. Well, the magic bullet shot happened at 7.16 seconds as it was coming down as we watched the Zapruder film. And then shot number 4 is the fatal headshot JFK, which was at 14.0 seconds. And the shot to the curb, where James Tague was standing, was at 20.88 seconds. Okay, so now we're going to pull this map up here, which we'll pull up this map here first. Now, let's go to the next one. This is one I wanted to show. Now, they said Oswald had 6 seconds to take 3 shots. Okay, let's look at that for a moment. As you see here, did Oswald actually had the 6 seconds to take them 3 shots, or did he have longer? Remember, no one had stopwatches that day. When it comes to time frames, they're guessing at it. But when we go into realistic and we're looking at it, and overall, here's what we're going to find out. As you see, I have a time frame, which starts from here. This is where frame 133 of the Zapruder film starts, right here, when JFK's limo was first seen. And then right here is where the first shot occurred, which is at 7.16 seconds. The fatal headshot occurred at 14.0 seconds, 0.7 seconds. And then the curb shot happened at 20.88 seconds. Now, they're saying that there's no possible way Oswald could take 3 shots off, 3 aims, 3 shots. Well, let's look at this. For shot number 1. Shot number 1. Oswald had a time to line up. He had them on Houston Street for 10 seconds. Then from this point here to this point here, when we first started seeing JFK's limo in the Zapruder film, was another 3 seconds. So that's a total of 13 seconds right there. And then from this point to this point here, where that shot occurred, which we're going to say the magic bullet, was 7.16 seconds in the Zapruder film. So at this point, okay, we have 13 seconds plus 7 seconds, which is 20.16 seconds from this point here to this point here where the first shot occurred. So Oswald had 20.16 seconds to take aim to take that first shot. Then we'll go into the second shot, which is the fatal headshot to JFK. He had another 7.8 seconds between this point here and this point here to take a shot. And then the other shot occurred down here, which is the curb shot, because remember after curb shot there was other just after shots after that was just distract shots, which if you watch my other videos and stuff, you'll see that. Then we had the curb shot that took place at 20.88 seconds. So when we add all this together, we have the 20.16 seconds. We have the 7 seconds in between this shot and this shot here. And then we have the 6 seconds between this shot and this shot here. So the first shot, he had 20.16 seconds time to aim for that shot. Then he took that shot. Then from this point here to this point here, which was the magic bullet shot and the fatal headshot, Oswald has 7.8 seconds. And then to the curb shot, from the fatal headshot to the curb shot, again, the time frame between that was 6.81 seconds. So when we go from this point here to the curb shot, is a total of 34.5 seconds. Not the 6 seconds no more. Not the 6 seconds no more. 30.05 seconds to take 3 shots. See, people don't take this in consideration. I have to look at this. If we're going to try to prove that Oswald's innocent, we're going to prove that these shots cannot occur even with the car cannon rifle. But we have to find the true evidence. We have to find the true time frames. We can't sit there and say no one had a stopwatch that day. So when they're putting out their time frames, which I think I have it in here. Well, I'm going to show how they base their time frames. They base their time frames on the Orville Nix film. Okay, that's how they're basing their time frames, by the Orville Nix film. Excuse me. I'm just trying to find this one map. Well, I think this might be it here. Here it is. Sorry. Here's the map. This is what they're basing on within 6 seconds. They're basing it on the Orville Nix film, because the Orville Nix film, if we view the Orville Nix film, from this point here to this point here, because this is all we're going to see in an Orville Nix film, this much time frame, is 7.13 seconds. Now remember, the Zapruder film shows from this point here to this point here, which is a total of 28.2 seconds. That's including when Mr. Zapruder started filming Elm Street. So frame 001 to frame 132 is also in that time of 28.2 seconds. Okay, so the whole Zapruder film, if you go by stopwatch time, is 28.2 seconds. The Orville Nix film that shows a part of the assassination is 7.13 seconds. But as you see here, on goes from this point here to this point here of 7 seconds. 28 seconds goes from this point here to this point here. So that's what they're based their time frame on. He had 3 shots taken off within 6 seconds, which is impossible. That's what they want to tell us with the car cannon rifle. Now let's look at this right here. We already looked at this one here. Let's look at this map right here. Now, as you see here, again, for the first shot, Oswald had 20.16 seconds. When we look at it that way, and then after we go from this point here to this point here, Oswald still had 13.72 seconds to pull off 2 more shots. So you see what I'm saying? People could say all they want and try to prove Oswald's innocence, but they don't want to go in details to see if he can take a shot. They're not going to tell you, well, you know, there was 10 seconds on Houston Street, and then we got 3 seconds as they made that turn right there. That's 13 seconds that Oswald had. Plus, well, from this point here, if you watch my cursor, from this point here, was another 7 seconds. So we're looking at a total of 20 seconds, you know, and Oswald had time to take his first aim with that car cannon rifle. Then from this point here to this point here, there was another 7 seconds, you know, that he had to take that other aim, you know, reload and take an aim for that other shot there. And the curb shot couldn't have been an aim shot, so I guess it doesn't matter how he fired that shot, because it really wasn't too accurate of a shot, you know. So when we look at it that way, well, now we got into another 6 seconds between this shot here and this shot here. They're not going to go into details. That's why I get I was banned from a lot of these conferences, because they know me. I will come up with these questions. If they could sit there and say, well, Oswald's a patsy, Oswald's innocent, there is no way that he could take these 3 shots within 6 seconds with this type of rifle, car cannon rifle. I'll tell them, and I'll ask them, hey, I'll raise my hand and say, hey, can you prove that Oswald took them in that exact time, that 6 seconds? Can you show me the time frames that you came up with to prove that he done that, he could take them shots, or he can't take them shots within that many seconds, you know, in between here? You're telling me that there was a gunman behind a picket fence area that took the fatal headshot to JFK, so that still leaves 2 shots, the magic bullet shot and the curb shot. Can you tell me that Oswald did not take them shots as well? Can you prove to me that Oswald did not take those shots within 6 seconds? They can't. Because they're going to sit there and say, Oswald, they're going to point out 6 seconds, 3 shots, that's it. No way Oswald could have took them 3 shots with this type of rifle, car cannon rifle, but they're not giving you true time frames. They're not. They're basing everything off of false information. So when they come up with their false information, what they're telling you, they're giving you false information the same way. But as you see here, I don't like giving out false information, and I don't like working with theories, because theory is just a story. False information, we've got false information for the last 54 years from people and everything else. When you look at it this way, you put it on a map and you put it on paper and you start time framing everything and you start marking it down, you're going to see there was actually more time than what we are told. 6 seconds. So basically, they're saying it was only on this road for 6 seconds when you got a film that's got 28 seconds. You got another film that's got 7 seconds. As I pointed out by the Orville Nix film and the Zapruder film. We have 2 films right here alone. We got 7 seconds from this point here to this point here of the Orville Nix film. We got 28 seconds from this point here to this point here of the Orville Nix film. So you see, the assassination was a lot longer than what people puts it at. Excuse me. The assassination was really long, even though it was in seconds. But to a lot of people, it seems like it was hours. Okay? But when we put this information back in there, and we look at it, and we go by estimate of reality, okay, reality now, from this point here to this point here, where the first shot occurred, Oswald had 20.16 seconds to take that first shot. From this point here to this point here, Oswald had another 7.8 seconds to take that shot. So that's a reload and aim within 7 seconds. Then the last shot, which was the curb shot, they want to put it that way, was a missed shot anyway, so he really wasn't worried about aiming that. But he still has 6.81 seconds between here, this shot, and here, so he's got time to reload and just bring his rifle down and go, okay, bang, there you go. So he still would have time to take those 3 shots. no matter which way you look at it, even with the Carcano rifle. As I point out, he had 34.5 seconds. Now, have they ever did test on that? No, they haven't. They're sitting there saying, ready, go, bang, click, click, bang, click, click, bang, like that. Okay? And then they're going to go click, click again. They're trying to do it within 6 seconds. Where that 6 seconds came from, I don't know where it came from. That came from somebody's imagination. Because when you look at reality and you study this case and you go over this case, you will see that it was a longer period of time than 6 seconds that he had to take 3 shots. He had a total of 34.5 seconds. Now, can you tell me that if a professional sniper, or if they start, if they start doing a test, can a person using a Carcano rifle take all 3 shots in 34.5 seconds? Do testing on it and see if it can be happen. Do testings on the shots in between, the 6 seconds or 7 seconds in between. Do them tests now and see if it's possible now. Can they show me this now? Can it be done within 34.5 seconds? 3 shots. Yes, it can be done. This is the reason why they don't want to go to that much detail. When you ask a question, they're going to stop you from asking questions like this because they don't even know the answers themselves because they never took this much time to go in this much depth into their research. They're going to just say 6 seconds, 3 shots with this type of rifle. No way, Oswald's innocent. But there was a gunman behind the picket fence area that took that fatal headshot. Well, wait a minute, that leaves 2 shots left open. Who took them? Who took the magic bullet? Who took the curve shot? You know, you're looking around. They're going to say, oh, well, Oswald didn't take them either. But, you know, is it possible that 2 shots could be taken with that 6 seconds? They're going to say, well, 2 shots, yeah, it's possible. But then they're going to say, oh, shut up, and they'll go with somebody else because they're going to know if it's possible. Then Oswald still took a shot that day. So he's not innocent. He's not a patsy no more. He still took a shot, whether it's to the curve shot, the magic bullet shot, or the fatal headshot. There was a gunman behind that picket fence area. So see, when they want to pull out this stuff and they want to try to prove their case, they're leaving themselves open for a lot of questions. They're leaving themselves open for a lot of backlash, basically, because they're leaving themselves open. That's why I don't believe in what was told. I believe in what we can see. And when we go back into reality of the case, it is possible for Oswald to use a Carcano rifle because he had to part from Houston Street right here, as you watch my cursor, to take aim and follow them. And then when he got to this point right here, he had time to take his shot. He had time to reload, whether coming down this way, time to reload, take aim, and take another shot. And he had time enough to reload and take that other shot as they're going along this way to the curb. It's possible. So no matter which way you want to look at it, no matter how they're going to point it out, say it cannot be done, it can be done, even with a Carcano rifle, and even if the person is not that good of a shoot or a marksmith. Don't forget the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. Share this information so other people know that 3 shots can happen. When they're trying to prove Oswald's innocent, you see some of the questions that come up with. If you go to a conference and stuff, ask them questions and see what answers that you get. Don't forget that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you, and you have a pleasant day.